This evening, first, a major shift in the government's cash grant program. President Irfaan Ali announces a one-off $100,000 grant for every adult citizen. We'll break down how this impacts you and when distributions will start. Plus, 3 men face serious charges after an illegal aircraft landing and narcotics bust in South Rupununi. Find out how their escape attempt turned into a dramatic capture. Also, big changes in education. President Ali unveils plans to make technical and vocational training institutions fee-free starting in 2025. Could this be the future of learning in Guyana? And workplace fatalities in the mining and construction sector raises alarm. The Ministry of Labor is calling for urgent safety reforms following 3 tragic deaths. We'll have the latest on their investigations. Finally, in northern Nigeria, a catastrophic fuel tanker explosion leaves 150 dead. We'll bring you the details of this heartbreaking disaster and what led to the fatal incident. Stay tuned for these stories and more coming up on tonight's broadcast. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for October 17th, 2024. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, President Irfaan Ali announced a one-time $100,000 grant for all Guyanese aged 18 and older by January 1st, 2024, replacing household-based grants. Malcolm Carter has more details.
My fellow Guyanese.
In a major announcement, President Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali revealed on Wednesday that the government will provide a one-off $100,000 cash grant to every Guyanese citizen aged 18 and above on or before July 1st, 2024.
That instead of the one-off cash grant of $200,000 to every household previously announced, my government will now expand this benefit by providing a one-off cash grant of $100,000 to every citizen of Guyana 18 years and above as of the 1st of January 2024.
This decision replaces the previous announced $200,000 per household grant, following public feedback to prevent potential conflicts and administrative difficulties. The new grant aims to benefit individuals, including young adults who may not yet head their households.
This also addresses the many concerns by young people who may not yet have a family, but who thought in their discourse with us that they will not benefit from the household allocation because they were not yet the head of the household. This new initiative will now take into consideration those persons and expand the benefit to those young professionals also.
President Ali emphasized that this shift will result in a more transparent and accountable distribution of public funds, addressing concerns raised by citizens. The distribution of this cash grant is set to begin immediately. Eligibility for the grant requires individuals to turn 18 by January 1st, 2024.
And every Guyanese with a valid identification card and or a passport will be the beneficiary of this benefit.
Reporting for Headline News Update, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. 3 individuals were charged and remanded to jail relative to an investigation into the alleged illegal landing of an aircraft at an unauthorized airstrip and trafficking in narcotics in Bajaisan Village, South Rupununi, Region 9, when they appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Wednesday, October 16th. The accused are Robertin Saraiva, a 48-year-old Brazilian miner from Boa Vista, Brazil, Hamlet de Silva, a 53-year-old self-employed man from Bonfim, Brazil, and Aquipe Village, and Evander Phoenix, a 27-year-old miner from Aquipe Village, appeared before Magistrate Faith Augusti, where the charges were read to them and they pleaded not guilty. The men were all charged with trafficking in narcotics, with Saraiva also being charged with illegal entry under the Immigration Act. Reported that on October 6, 2024, authorities responded to reports of an illegal aircraft landing at an unauthorized airstrip in Bajayan Village, South Rupununi. Regional Police from Division 9 and Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit officers discovered a Cessna aircraft and a pickup truck at the site. As officers approached, 3 men fled in the truck. However, one of the men fell from the vehicle in the process. Simultaneously, the pickup collided with the plane, causing damage to the right wing and front propeller. The police quickly apprehended the man who had fallen from the vehicle. He admitted to chartering the aircraft to transport mercury between Brazil, Venezuela, and Guyana. Electronic devices and clothing were also found in the aircraft. A hidden motorcycle was found near the airstrip. Subsequently, the 2 other men were arrested, which led to the charges. Attorney Bernard De Silva represented the men in court. The next court appearance is scheduled for October 29, 2024 for the disclosure of statements and reports. In other news, the Ministry of Labour has voiced deep concern over a series of recent workplace fatalities in October 2024, exposing significant safety lapses in the mining and construction sectors. 2 tragic incidents occurred over the weekend, including the death of Patrick Pickett, a serviceman at Top Mix Cement, and Marlon Davison, a security supervisor at Hopkinson Mining Security Forum. Pickett sustained fatal injuries while servicing a cement truck on October 12th, and Davison died after losing control of an ATV on October 13th. A 3rd fatality involving a suspected drowning in Region 8 is currently under investigation. In response, the Ministry and Minister of Labour, Joseph Hamilton, are urging employers to adhere strictly to safety regulations under the Occupational Safety and Health Act. Minister Hamilton emphasized the need for safe working conditions, stating that wherever people work, they must be safe. He said the ministry remains committed to working with employers to improve workplace safety and prevent further tragedies. Stick around when we return. Government to abolish fees for technical and vocational institutions in 2025. And Ghana celebrates World Food Day 2024 with a focus on food security.
The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. How to apply for registration? You must visit the GECOM registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons from your area of residence to apply for registration or name change or correction. You must be in possession of the following source documents as might be relevant: original birth certificate or valid Guyana passport for new registration, original marriage certificate and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by way of marriage, original deed poll and original birth certificate in the case of a name change by deed poll, original naturalization certificate and original birth certificate in the case of naturalization. This registration exercise will end on November 29th, 2024. For further information, please contact GECOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GECOM website at www.gecom.org.gy.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoons, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoons Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown, telephone 226-1082.
Welcome back. In this report, Malcolm Carter informs us that starting January 2025, government-run technical and vocational institutions in Guyana will eliminate fees benefiting 3,000 individuals. Here's more.
Starting January 2025, the government will eliminate all fees for government-run technical and vocational institutes in Guyana. This announcement was made on Wednesday by President Dr. Mohamed Ifrin Ali. The decision applies to various institutions, including technical institutes, the Guyana Industrial Training Center, the Carnegie School of Home Economics, and the Guyana School of Agriculture. This initiative is expected to provide financial relief to an additional 3,000 individuals across the country, further expanding access to skills, training, and education. The announcement follows President Ali's recent commitment to making the University of Guyana tuition-free in 2025. Additionally, the government plans to write off $8 billion in student loans. President Ali noted that the aim is to ensure equitable access to education and other benefits for all citizens while promoting transparency in distributing public resources to help individuals realize their full potential. Reporting for Headline News Update, Malcolm Carter.
Thanks, Malcolm. In celebration of World Food Day 2024, the Ministry of Agriculture and the Food and Agriculture Organization hosted an agricultural exhibition at the Border Cricket Ground on October 16th. The event, themed Right to Food for a Better Life and a Better Future, underscored the global impact of ensuring food security and access to nutritious food for all. Agricultural Minister Zulfikar Mustafa highlighted the role of food security in human dignity and development, stressing the government's effort to combat malnutrition. Guyana has achieved a 2.5 reduction in undernourishment rates, one of the lowest in the Caribbean. Minister Mustafa also showcased advancements in agriculture, including hydroponics farms and plans to build 3 more in key regions. The event underscored Guyana's commitment to CARICOM's goal of reducing the food import bill by 25%. The government's initiatives, such as the Food School Feeding Program, have further contributed to food security nationwide. Don't go away after the break. Dominica, police use tear gas on protesters. Prime Minister talks with truckers. And the flood hit central Nigeria. Around 1 million people have been displaced.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. It is the civic duty and legal responsibility of all persons who meet the eligibility requirements to apply for registration. By doing so, you will be ensuring that you are issued a national identification card and be included in the official lists of electors for future elections, providing you meet all eligibility criteria. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact GCOM on 225-027729 or visit the website www.gcom.org.gy.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with the gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common Smalls make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoons, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoons Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening. I am Malcolm Carter, and welcome to tonight's regional and international news. First up, Prime Minister of Dominica Roosevelt Skerrit has met with representatives of the Tippers Truckers Association following their protests over service rates for the International Airport project. Early Wednesday, truckers blocked a major highway, causing widespread disruption for commuters. Skerrit acknowledged the truckers' vital role in the project and pledged to address their concerns. A consensus was reached to revise trucking services rates. Truckers, however, remain firm, seeking greater guarantees of participation in future projects, with some calling for 80% of government contracts. During the protests, riot police deployed tear gas to disperse the crowd, affecting nearby residents, including a woman and her 7 children. One trucker was arrested and charged with assault. The Prime Minister is set to address the matter further on state radio, while truckers vow to continue protesting until their demands are met. Internationally, a devastating fuel tanker explosion in northern Nigeria has claimed the lives of at least 153 people. The tragedy occurred overnight after a tanker carrying petrol overturned around 11:30 p.m. local time. Despite police warnings to stay away, a crowd gathered to collect leaking fuel, resulting in a catastrophic fire. Rescue workers have recovered the remains of the victims. Many burned beyond recognition, and most have been buried in a mass ceremony. Over 100 people, many in critical condition, are receiving treatment in nearby hospitals. Authorities have detained the driver as an investigation is underway. Such accidents are tragically common in Nigeria, often attributed to poorly maintained vehicles and unsafe road conditions. Meanwhile, Australia's Northern Territory has reinstated the age of criminal responsibility to 10, reversing a previous move to raise it to 12. The newly elected country Liberal Party government argues the change will curb youth crime and allow interventions. However, medical experts, human rights groups, and indigenous advocates strongly oppose the move, warning it will disproportionately affect Aboriginal children, who are already jailed at rates 11 times higher than anywhere else in the country. The policy comes amid a perceived youth crime crisis and follows a series of violent incidents in Alice Springs. Critics argue the focus should be on addressing the root causes of crime, not punitive measures. Protests against the legislation were held outside Parliament as the bill was debated. Finally, floods have displaced more than 1 million people in central Nigeria. Emergency workers say more than 200 villages have been submerged as Nigeria's biggest river overflows their banks. Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris reports.
Marooned for days, more families arrived to safety. They say they left behind dozens of villages all underwater, along with tens of thousands of hectares of submerged farmlands. Local Chief Abdullah Isa and his people are now homeless.
The state government has provided an ID camp, and the ID camp cannot be able to take all people. Some people have to go and look for a shelter.
Getting to dry land, however, isn't the end of their struggle. Thousands now live in cramped conditions, waiting for handouts.
They brought in a small amount of rice, not enough to feed an adult. As for me and my family, we got a small amount of grated cassava.
Emergency workers say more than 1 million people have been displaced so far.
Even though it's going to be a little bit difficult for us to tell them that they are not going to miss their homes, but we're trying to make them feel as if they are home.
That, for now, is not working, and there are thousands more struggling to reach safety.
Nigeria's biggest rivers, the Benue and the Niger, meet in Lokoja, home to more than 700,000 people. At the peak of the rainy season, the two rivers and their tributaries flood the plains and more than 200 villages. Every year, tens of thousands of hectares of farmlands are submerged, causing millions of dollars in damages.
The next few weeks could see floodwater flowing down south to the oil-rich Niger Delta. If it does, it could cause damage and disruption to oil production facilities there. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Edeha.
Thanks, Malcolm. This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-event forecast. And that's Safe TV2 headline news for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 5:30 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.